And welcome. We are back live Friday afternoon, 4:05 Eastern Standard Time. A few minutes past that, 4:08 Eastern Standard Time, here on October the 21st, 2022. So this is your Friday Soccer Paycheck. I am Stephen Murray, and we're going to take a look at the English Premier League, the English Championship. We're going to go down the full menu and try to find some plays for the weekend and give you guys an ideas on how to bet soccer. Give you guys the idea of the lucrative payouts that can be involved with soccer. I'm going to want you to think on your own for all you soccer enthusiasts or those who are wanting to learn. If you need action first thing in the morning before football comes on, soccer is a fun way to do so. It's a simple game. You got to kick the ball down the field and kick it into the net. And if you get a goal, it counts as one. So it's as simple as that. And the payouts, like I said, can be juicy. I'm not liking there we go here. We need to trying to get the Magic Johnson in the background. Doesn't seem to be working too well. So we'll have to get him out. Once we get we're playing around with the studio, get the various cameras going. And then we can start taking, shots around the studio, giving you guys a tour with the sports lounge and all our cool decorations that we have up here in studio. But business is business, okay? That's what we're here for. So let's go ahead and talk soccer. All right, there's a lot to go over. Generally, I'm going to go with the general overall feel of what we have going on right now in the EPL. And it goes a little something like this, to be honest. First off the table is kind of upside down. A lot of the teams that you wouldn't expect to be towards the bottom right now are right there at the bottom. We've had a lot of low-scoring games. So our plays to go over just have not gotten there at all. We've had the weather for that to happen. We just haven't, although we've gotten some more goals lately, we've yet to have that one big thrust weekend where it seems to be high-scoring games across the board. And that's where we're going to generally capitalize on the big payouts. That being said, we did have a nice little winner midweek, but that was on a live play. And we had soccer on Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, and we didn't talk about that at all because we weren't on the air. We just had to kind of focus on the last weekend that we had going on. So we didn't focus on anything midweek. Pre-flop, nothing got there for us in either case of the weekend or in the week during the week. But we're able to play the same plays and get in live. And some of the things that we like to happen to connect together. So we got at least a winner there. So we look to kind of move forward as we get close to the World Cup break, these last few couple weeks here of the English Premier League and the English Championship. We'll try to keep with our same mentality. We don't want to miss a day in which we have some super overs and just be left here on the sideline. So we'll continue forward. We're going to approach this weekend with caution. We were going to approach this weekend with caution just because of the weather factor involved with the games this weekend. But it looks like right now, where we've had some rain in the UK and there's a lot of rain in the forecast for the week coming up, it looks like the one dry day is going to be tomorrow, Saturday. So that's going to be conducive for these games not getting bogged down 1-0, 0-0, 2-0, and things of that nature. Now, we haven't needed the help to get bogged down. There's been plenty of lackluster scoring here in the last couple weeks of the Premier League. The championship has started to open up a bit themselves, and there's definitely some teams starting to identify themselves as better teams finally in that league. So we'll go ahead and poke through those teams as we get to them later on in the show. But we'll focus on the Premier League first. So generally what we've been dealing with is low-scoring games in good weather. and we're looking for these teams to catch some goals. We're going to have a day where all these games go over, and they're going to be multiple goals, and really we're going to make all our money for the season, probably on those 2 or 3 occasions that will happen throughout the season. We'll be around when it happens, and we'll capitalize then. In the meantime, we're going to have to take some losses here or there, or rely on in-game to make our money. So in-game's a great way too. If you get a good feel for it, one team's putting a lot of shots on net and the other team isn't doing anything, then you can always look at taking the one side in-game, especially with an alt spread. If they're peppering the goalie, say they have 10 opportunities in the first half and the other team has 2, then you probably want to try to jump on that team getting all the shots in the second half, and hopefully you'll get there. Does that always happen? No, because it's soccer. And just getting a goal seems hard enough. It seems like it's pulling complete teeth at times. But when that goal finally opens up, then it seems like the dam breaks. The river starts flowing fast, and all the goals will start to go in rampant. So we'll be around when that happens. Let's go ahead and look at the table just to see where everyone's at now. Arsenal, they are the top team. They are 4 points clear of Man City here in second place. And Arsenal, they're coming off 4 straight wins, so they are in really good form, and it helps us on our ticket since we have a future with the Tennessee Volunteers and the Philadelphia Eagles to win the NFC and Arsenal to win the Premier League. We're going to be happy with that right now. If you told me Arsenal would be 4 points up as we get close to the World Cup break, then I'd be very happy with that. Man City is in second place. They lost their last game out to Liverpool, but they've been unbeaten in the 4 and previously, basically before that. So they won 3 in a row and then a draw there in their last 5. So they trail Arsenal by 4 points. Tottenham and Chelsea round out the top 3 and 4. Tottenham has the same amount of points as Man City, actually, so they have 23, but they've lost their last time out. Chelsea, since they fired Thomas Tuchel and bring in Graham Potter, the manager coach of Brighton, Chelsea they drew last time out 0-0, but they have 4 straight wins before that. So Chelsea is in good form. Man United, they continue to be a nice surprise, 19 points, and they are in 5th place. They had the big win over Tottenham last week. Newcastle, they haven't lost in the last 5. They won 3 and drew 2, so they are in good form. They have 18 points. Liverpool, winners of 2 in a row. They have a loss and a draw, so they have 16 points. Brighton, they're the better team that is starting to fall a little bit. They have 2 losses in their last 4 games, just 15 points on the table, and they have a couple of draws. So they were a prolific scoring team for a minute, but Brighton has not gotten on the board, and they have not gotten the win since they've sacked their manager. Since Thomas Tuchel was sacked from Chelsea and Graham Potter moved on from Brighton. So Fulham is next on the table. They got 15 points. They won last time out against Aston Villa. They got Steven Gerrard fired for Aston Villa. So Fulham, where they had a couple losses here in their last 5, they get on the rebound and get a win here. Brentford, they've been inconsistent. They have 1 win, 2 losses, and a draw, and a couple draws in their last 5. Crystal Palace, now they haven't lost in their last 3. They have 2 wins and a draw. Palace has 13 points on the table. Bournemouth, where people thought they would be at the bottom, they got 13 points. They're clear of safety at the moment, 4 points above the relegation zone. And they only have 1 loss in their last 5. West Ham, where they started to get a couple of wins, they've now lost and drawn since then. West Ham, 11 points, disappointing on the season. Southampton, they won their last time out. They went ahead and beat Bournemouth, but they have lost 3 of the 4 before that. Losers of 3 in a row are Everton, although they played scrappy. They don't have anything to show for it, and they've lost 3 in a row. Leeds, they have lost 4 of their last 5 and a draw. So Leeds, where they had a promising start, they only have 9 points on the season, and they need to taste the victory. soon. Aston Villa, we talked about them. They just sacked their manager, Gerrard. So 2 losses for them their last time out, a couple draws before that, and a win. The Wolves, they have lost 4 out of their last 5. They've been playing sneakily better, but they can't find the goal. Just when you think they're getting ready to put one in, they just can't seem to do it. So the Wolves, 4 losses in their last 5. Leicester, they won 2-0 their last time out, but they've only won twice out of the last 5. They have 2 losses, and they sit second to the bottom of the table with 8 points. The Wolves are in relegation zone 2 with Aston Villa, and Nottingham Forest with just 6 points. They have lost 3 out of their last 5. They have given up 23 goals on the season. They've only scored 7, so they have a negative 16 goal differential, which is horrible. So Nottingham Forest, they round out your table, and they go ahead and sit at the bottom. So Arsenal's playing well overall right now. Newcastle is playing very well. Chelsea playing well. Man United playing well. And everything is in Man City, of course, playing decent. Tottenham, they have 2 losses out of their last 5. That might be one too many, just for their standards. But everyone else is either inconsistently consistent or consistently inconsistent, one of the two, and that's just soccer. Gets more chaotic as we get into the championship. Trust me. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the games. Let's see what we got on deck for the weekend. No games on Friday, so we start with Liverpool at Nottingham Forest, Saturday at 7:30. Liverpool is a minus 370 favorite over the last place team at Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is paying 10-1 if you like them to win straight up, and it is plus 500 on the draw. So let's see. Generally, I've been staying away from the Liverpool games since they've lost Sadio Mane, who's left for the Bundesliga and Bayern. So ever since they've lost Sadio Mane, I just don't trust Liverpool. Plain and simple. And I've actually probably have saved money since I haven't stayed on their bandwagon. They haven't scored generally all the prolific goals that they're used to scoring. They've been a lower scoring team in the Premier League so far. I just wanted to see them really prove themselves before I jumped on their bandwagon, and I haven't been able to do that. They only have 12 goals so far. So 12 goals is going to be about lower to middle of the pack, to be honest. So they are not getting the I'm sorry, they've only given up 12 goals. That's going to be, that's going to be one of the better teams. There's teams better than that. They actually have scored 22, but you got to remember 7 of those were against Bournemouth. Did they even get more to that against Bournemouth? They blew them away, I think 9-0. So if you take that away, just the Bournemouth goal, the Bournemouth game, they only have 13 goals in the 9 games that they played. So Liverpool just has not scored at the rate that I'm used to them scoring like they did last year. So I've been hesitant to jump onto that. The other thing about this game is this: although Nottingham Forest has been at the bottom of the table and they have been dreadful, they have been playing better on defense. So they have not been giving up as many goals. They haven't been scoring, but they have not been giving them up either. So they have been playing better overall. And let's see if we can pull up their last few games here. Let's see. Okay, I just want to make sure I got the right order. Yeah, so Forest, they allowed no goals to Brighton their last time out. They allow 1 to the Wolves, and then a loss. They allow 1 to Aston Villa. Leicester got 4 goals on them. Fulham had 3 before that. But the last 3 games out, they've only allowed 2 goals. So with a team like Liverpool, if I click over to them and just kind of see what they're doing, that's not the right way to go. Let me go this way. Liverpool, and just what we said, they have 1 goal in their last 2 games. They have 7 against the Rangers. That's a Champions League game. That's the one I was thinking about with the 7 goals. They only put 2 EPL goals up against Arsenal. They only had 3 at Brighton. They only scored 1 against Napoli in the Champions League. They only scored 2 against Ajax in the Champions League. They scored 0 against Everton. So really, overall, just Liverpool has not been the Liverpool that we know. And this one, I'm going to stay away from. We'll just put it that way. You may like it, but let's talk about some of the alternate lines. If you do like Liverpool, minus 2 goals is plus 200. So for Liverpool to win by 3 goals, you're only getting plus 200. I just think you're going to be able to find better value on a lot of these games. They're still minus 150 at minus 1 goal. If you want any kind of big payout on Liverpool, away team over 3.5 goals is plus 300. Maybe you get a shot there. I think you're going to find a lot better circumstances to try to get a bigger number on some easier plays. You're not going to see me taking Nottingham. Can Nottingham to get 2 home goals? Let's see. If you like Nottingham for 2 home goals, then you can get plus 450 if you think that they can get in the net twice. That would be the only route I would look at. But I can't trust Nottingham Forest to get anything. I would think this is going to be a low-scoring game, maybe 2-0, 3-0, something like that. But I think overall, I think we're just going to look at some better plays on the board with all that. All right, we got a quick break coming up, and we're going to get through the rest of the games. Man City and Brighton is the 10 o'clock game. Man City is minus 550. Brighton is plus 1,300. Brighton was on fire, playing really well. Brighton was on fire, playing really well, but they have cooled off since their manager has left for Chelsea. I'm not sure the players are happy with the new coach or not and the way things are going. You got to think that they were cruising pretty good. And then with the change, and they're not playing so hot, the players just in their own minds are going to start to question the process that they have going there post Graham Potter. Brighton usually at 13-1 would be a great number. But against the Man City team, considering if they still had Potter as the coach and they were in their current form, and they would still probably get a number like plus 1,300, maybe a little bit less. Brighton would be worth a chance there, I think. But because Man City, they're occasionally going to lose. But Man City is a beast at home. They score goals on the regular at home. I think in every home game they've had this year, they've had at least 4 goals at home. So Man City is a monster. I'm going to count on Brighton to get 1 or 2, just to because they can put shots on goal. They do have some good talent, and Man City scores all the time as well. If this was a rainy day scenario tomorrow, which still we're going to have to double check the weather, I would lay off of this. But if I'm going to take any kind of route here, then I think I'm going to take just over goals, and I'm going to hope for a super, super over goal fiesta. Can it happen? Surely. If I need to find a play, I think there's still better plays on the board. But I'm going to look at over 5.5 goals. Maybe we get a 4-2 game. Maybe we get a 5-1 game. Man City can score 6 goals on their own. Let's be honest. Plus 630, is that the greatest number? No, but on the limited Saturday menu, and if you're looking to get some sort of round robin going on Saturday, then I think an option definitely can be Man City and Brighton over goals. So that's a 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time game. Brighton and Man City. All right, we'll come back after the break and talk about some more games.
Know your gambling limits. Don't ever bet what you can't cover. Wagering on sports is only fun when you do it the right way. Not every bet will win. When you get on a bad run, know it and avoid trouble. Know your gambling limits.
Dependable Solutions can provide all voiceover services for your advanced audio production needs. Think of us as an inexpensive option, no matter what the size of the project is. From one-word cameos to full script productions, contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517. Do you want to advertise with Deep End Broadcasting? Send us an email at deepend757@yahoo.com. That's deepend757@yahoo.com. It is estimated that 23% of car accidents each year involve a cell phone. That's 1.3 million accidents a year. Reaching for your phone, you are 4 times more likely to crash. Dialing on your phone, 2.8 times more likely to crash. And texting on your phone, you are 23 times more likely to crash. Attentive drivers are safe drivers.
Control your alcohol. Don't fight. Don't drink and drive. Your one punch could kill someone. It happens. If you're behind the wheel, you may think you are fine, but then the other driver is under the influence of texting, and then you are done. Control your alcohol.
Tired of your swimming pool's diatomaceous earth pool filter? The constant cleaning, green pool, cloudy water? I thought this was supposed to be clean. Trust your swimming pool's water quality with a custom sand filter install. A clean, easy solution for your swimming pool operations. Contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517. Text hotline is open, 757-354-5517. That's 757-354-5517. Go ahead and text us your soccer plays. Let us know what you like. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. We are the separation show from the round robin on Sunday mornings. We are putting soccer on its platform all by itself. And we're talking the English Premier League and the English Championship and finding all the best wagers that we can think of to try to make maximum profit for the minimum investment. We're going to like to round robin these. We're going to like to parlay these. And we want to find big odds to put these together because you can literally do a $15 soccer bet, find 4 things, and turn that bad boy into about 6 G's before you know it. If you can just get 4 or 5 goals in some of these games or get a home team to score 3 goals or something like that. Our theory is this. Although we want to find the best number, we are looking for blowouts in every scenario or teams to just hold their own. That's going to be an option here as well. We want to find blowouts in every sport, every day, every different sport. There's always going to be a blowout. Now, that's been a little thin here. That's been a little thin here in the English Premier League. The championship, we've had a few more, but our times are going to come here with the blowouts. We're just going through a low goal phase right now in the EPL. That's what they do. And really, with the conducive weather, we should have had more. But we've had a lot of soccer games, too. We've had Champions League, Europa League, all these teams playing friendlies for the World Cup teams. So there has been a lot of soccer to be played. And in a lot of cases, The lineups have been. I gotta get a new cable for computer too here. And a lot of times these players don't get the rest. Load management, same as the NBA. But we're going to move lines around and we're going to try to make money, and that is our goal. So we have a real short slate on Saturday for the EPL. We have the 7:30 Liverpool Nottingham Forest game. That's at 7:30, and then at 10 we got Everton and Crystal Palace. We skipped that. We're going to have to go back to that one. Man City and Brighton. That's at 10 o'clock Saturday. We were going to talk Chelsea and Man U here in a minute. That's the 12:30. But like I said, let's rewind real quick to the Crystal Palace game, where Palace, they will be at Everton. And man, this is a game that I want absolutely nothing to do with. I've been trying to make a case for Crystal Palace, and they did beat the Wolves midweek. That was actually a pretty entertaining game, Crystal Palace and the Wolves. I'm not sure if any one of you guys saw that one. But with the Wolves with a 1-0 lead going into halftime, Crystal Palace comes right out of the gates, gets the second half goal, and then they get a game winner. And there was plenty of opportunity for both teams. Crystal Palace, I like their speed. I like Eze, that player. Zaha can finish as well. Everton, although they have some players back and they've been playing feisty defense. The state of these teams are this. Everton is maybe not as bad as I thought that they would be. Like I said, their defense is good. Crystal Palace is, I was hoping for just a little bit more from them. They've had some more losses than I probably would have liked. They kind of sit back. I wish they would be just a little bit more aggressive on the front foot. They seem to pack it in and try to score on the counter. So that being said, Crystal Palace at plus 190, it's probably the best bet, literally. I don't see over goals in this case. At over 3.5, you're just getting plus 340. You know what? That's not too bad if you think the game can be 3-1, which it could be. That Crystal Palace could win 3-1. So I wouldn't go any more than over 3.5 goals. If I was looking at a team scenario for over/under goals, let's see. Everton, I can count on them for 1. Can I count on them for 2? I don't know. They're only getting plus 180 for 2 goals. I don't think that's a great play on this board if you're looking for the best bet on the board. An away team over 2.5 goals is plus 680. I think that's a direction I would maybe try to lean if I was going to play this game. I think I'll lay off. Over 1.5 goals for Crystal Palace is plus 200. Now, we talked about them on the money line, which this is going to be a good lesson. So on the money line, the win, they're just plus 190. So that's fine. But if you think they can get to 2 goals, and it doesn't matter if they win, lose, or draw, you can get paid 2-1. So I almost like that better. Over 1.5 goals for Crystal Palace at plus 200. I might have to do a small play on that. I think they can easily get to 2 goals. And that's win, lose, or draw. So that's good. I didn't have anything going into this game. Playing around with the menu with you guys, I went ahead and found, that's pretty good. Crystal Palace over 1.5 at 2-1 odds. I would take that all day. And if we were just to bump that up and maybe put $5 on the away team, let's see here. Where are we at? Oh, I'm on the wrong page here. So away team goals for Crystal Palace. If you want to get them to 3 goals, that's plus 680. So that's your difference. And when I talk about the big soccer payouts that you can get, that is the difference right there. From 2 goals at plus 200, just to get 1 more goal, it's just a goal. It's not a lot. You get plus 480 more. If you think they can get to 4 goals, Crystal Palace, 17-1 odds. All right. So Everton, the team who's hung in there defensively, who's been playing very well. Maybe they are due to get blown out. And at 17-1 odds for 4 goals for Palace, I'm not saying that's going to happen. They haven't proven anything that they can do that. Then that might be worth a shot. Everton at -1 is plus 500. That's the alternative spread. And then Everton at -2 is at about plus 200. Plus 1,200. And the comeback is -1050 on plus 2 goals for Crystal Palace. If you think this game can be a draw at 2-2, that's 15 plus 1,500. And 1-1, that's a feasible draw number at 5-1. Again, this game's tough, but I would lean Crystal Palace just simply over 1.5 goals. I think that gets you there all day long. All right, maybe they just get the one, but if they get a first quick goal, then man, that could be nice. The only other weird thing I will look at here is just for the first half. And if I look at first half goals for Crystal Palace, let's see if they can get 2 goals just on the first half. Leicester did that the other day. They never got my 3rd goal yesterday. I was looking for 3 goals for Leicester yesterday, and they got 2. They had opportunity. Leicester's not a great team. Let's see here. Away team first half over under 1.5 goals is at 9-1 odds for Crystal Palace. So that might be worth a shot in the dark too. 9-1 odds for Crystal Palace to get 2 goals in the first half at Everton. Okay. Let's go up to 12:30. We have Man U. They will be hosting Chelsea. Both teams in really good form. I've been expecting Chelsea to put a juggernaut of a score up in one of these games, and they haven't. Man U, who will be out with Cristiano Ronaldo as he walked off the bench yesterday. He's not kicked off the team. I thought he was initially. I thought they just said, get out of here. But he will not be with the team this weekend as they tried to put him in late in the game to sub him in, and they did not. He walked away. He walked down a tunnel, and they did not get the chance to put him in. They had to go deeper into the bench. So Ronaldo said, I'm not going to play with 87 minutes time put up on the clock. So they don't need him. Man U's been playing very well without him. Players like Fred have really grown to be better players where they were Man U was full of holes last year, giving up goals left and right. They've definitely tightened that up. They beat Tottenham 2-0, which is a very impressive win. Chelsea, although they drew their last time out, they've been winning. Their opponents have not been scoring, and they have not really scored themselves. If we look at the Chelsea games, let's see what we have for their goals, because it's not a lot. If I go back through Chelsea, 0-0 against Brentford. They win 2-0 against Aston Villa. They win 2-0 against AC Milan. They beat the Wolves 3-0. So, yeah, that's the one bigger one. 3-0 against Milan in the Champions League. Chelsea 2-1 over Crystal Palace. They had the 2 EPL games postponed. Before that, 2 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals, 0 goals, 1 goal, 2 goals. So the amount of times that Chelsea has gotten to 3 goals has been very, very limited on the year. That being said, we're going to say that this is going to be the one. We're going to rely on the old consistencies of Man United to be able to open up a little bit. And Chelsea, they have the talent to score. They have any number of players who can put it in the back of the net at any time. I mean, they got Kai Havertz. They have Christian Pulisic. They have Raheem Sterling. They have Mason Mount. Man U, they have Bruno Fernandes. They have Marcus Rashford. He's been playing very well. Let's see. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, he's up there. So there's a lot of good scores on this field in this game. Anthony is plus 350 anytime score. I think you could have definitely a 2-goal scorer in this game. And I think that we can have a lot of goals too. So we're going to go against the grain again. Chelsea hasn't been going over. Man U, they have been scoring. And just overall in the EPL, it's been dismal with overs. But here we go. We're going to go over. Mason Mount, 23-1 odds for 2 goals. Marcus Rashford, 20-1. Raheem Sterling, I would look at him at 15-1 for 2 goals. This is a game where Raheem Sterling, who gets plenty of opportunities, could definitely find the back of the net a couple of times. So if I'm going to do any kind of goal scorer parlay, I'm going to put Raheem Sterling in there as my guy to put it in the back of the net twice. I'm going to go all the way up to 5 goals for this game. And if I get to over 4.5 goals, I'm going to get paid plus 570. And I think that's going to be a juicy return. I'll go ahead and lock this in. We'll see what kind of payout we can get here on one of these. We'll establish a nice round robin. We'll make it official. I've already had the plays. It basically will be similar to anything that I have already. So 4.5 over under Man City and Chelsea. And that's the thing. Man U could get 3 to 4 goals, and Chelsea could get 1 to 2, or Chelsea could get 3 to 4, and Man U could get 1 to 2. So I think the safe play is just the over combined goals for the 2 teams. So we'll look at that over 4.5 in Man U and Chelsea. All right, next game. We go to Sunday. Brentford and Aston Villa. Aston Villa is disgusting to me. They're hard to watch. Their offense is pathetic. I see no reason why Brentford shouldn't win this game too, except I am under the belief that when teams sack their managers and they get someone else new up in there, that the players play hard. They want to play hard for the new coach because they want to show him that they want to be in the lineup. 2, they're happy that the old coach is gone generally. Whether he's a scapegoat or not, I think that ramps the adrenaline up. So that's the one weary thing I would be cautious with Aston Villa. The thing is, they don't have any playmakers, and they're just sloppy. And that's every game that I've watched with them, at least. I've given them every benefit of the doubt that I've could this season. In Aston Villa, I've had just enough of them. So let's see. They have scored just 7 goals all year, and although their defense is decent, they've only given up 16, which is one of the lower numbers overall. I would say it's lower mid-range for Aston Villa. They only have 7 goals. Only the Wolves and Nottingham Forest are worse. Everton only has 8 goals. West Ham 9. But Aston Villa, they just have the 7 goals, while Brentford, they have scored 18 times. And although they can be sloppy on defense, they've conceded 17 goals. Brentford, the much funner, maybe explosive team for sure. Ivan Toney is a player who has a lot of speed. Let's see. So the line here is Aston Villa. They are going to be at home. It's a raucous atmosphere. They're going to want to play in front of their fans. Aston Villa is the decent size favorite at plus 115, 240 for the draw, and plus 250 for Brentford. If I was going to look at an angle at this one, I think I like the Brentford plus 250, but let's see what we get for away team goals for Brentford. Because I think they can score twice. And if you want a simple thing to do, that's going to be right along the lines of, all right, so this is interesting. So Brentford for away team goals is plus 200, and they're plus 250 to win. Now, which game was it that was different for us? Let's see here. That was the Crystal Palace Everton game. So Crystal Palace is plus 190 to win, which is 60 plus 60 less than Brentford. All right, keep following me here. But for both of them to get over 1.5 goals, they pay the same, 2-1. So that is interesting to me. I think that's a lot of value for Crystal Palace if you look at it that way. They're not giving Aston Villa any credit either. Maybe they're giving Everton a lot more credit on their defense, for sure, in that regard. That must be the reason why. Does Everton have a better defense than Aston Villa? I'm not so sure about that. Let's see. So Brentford goals away is plus 200. If I think Brentford can get to 3, which I think that's going to be a tough call, at least on the road, you're going to get a strong effort from Villa. Away team goals for Brentford is over 2.5 plus 750. If we're going to root for Aston Villa to have a good home game, they're only getting 4-1 for 3 goals. They haven't gotten 3 goals all year. What makes us think that they're going to get 3 goals now just for plus 400? I don't like that. Plus 120 for 2 goals. I mean, I'd rather go with a plus 200 on Brentford for 2 goals or Crystal Palace than try to rely on a Aston Villa team who's done nothing to show that they can get on the board, regardless of who the manager is. We'll see what they got going on tomorrow. Or Sunday morning, I should say. But we'll go ahead and get away from them. All right, so no real good play on that game. And we're not going to play every game on the board after this. So just a quick rewind. If we have some plays already, we're going to look at Crystal Palace away team goals. We have that locked in. We're going to do a full review at the end, but let me make sure I have all this lined up for us correctly here at the end. So just that bet alone, if you want Chelsea Man U to get the 5 goals over 4.5 and Crystal Palace over 1.5, just those two, $10 pays 191. So a little over 19-1 odds. Just for those 2 little things to happen. So that's a lot of fun. Let's see here. All right. We're not going to, we got Man City. We got Man U. I'm sorry. We got Man City and Brighton. Let me plug that one in before we get to the next game. Again, I'm playing producer as well. So if I'm talking about a game with a different graphic, whatever. All right. Let's try to get professional here, Steve. Which is our next game, Aston Villa Brentford. No, we were good. Okay. So our next game is Leeds at Fulham. Fulham, they just beat the Aston Villa team we talked about 3-0. So they look really good. They're a fun team to watch. They have good offensive prowess. Mitrovic, of course, is the prolific goal scorer down low. Alexander Mitrovic. Fun player to watch. And then Leeds is struggling, but they're going to have 4 American players in their lineup on Sunday, what I hear. So we're going to have 4 American players on the field at one time. Of course, Jesse Marsh is the American manager for Leeds. Now, Leeds is in poor form, as we've talked about. Fulham. Let's see. Fulham has scored 19 goals. They've allowed 20. And then Leeds, right, they've only scored 11, and they've allowed 15. Now, Leeds is an aggressive attack style defense. They play a full press. They try to play fast. They try to turn you over quick, and they try to get you on the counter. Fulham, they just shove it down your throat. And if they can find holes in the Leeds defense, then Fulham's going to have a lot of opportunity to score. Leeds is a plus 105 favorite at home. Fulham is plus 260 on the money line straight up. That's a nice price for Fulham. As we're getting ready to come up to another commercial break in a minute. We're going to get through all these EPL games. Then we have the one last break with the championship. We'll get you out of here shortly after 5 o'clock, about 5:10, 5:15, we'll say. We came on a little bit late, so you got to cut me a little slack on that. Plus, it's good to talk and dive. People want us to rush sometimes. You can't rush these big-time executive decisions. You can't, all right? You can't rush this stuff. We're coming up with premium plays here to try to win the maximum off the minimum. All right, so Leeds and Fulham, if I'm going to look at goals for away team for Fulham, away team goals for Fulham, over 2.5 would be a play I would be interested in, to be honest. They are at plus 560 for that, at over plus 1.5. They are at plus 168. You could do a fun over 1.5 goal parlay, I think. I think you can get there with Fulham, Crystal Palace, and Brentford. That would be a nice little 3-gamer, to be honest. I might have to look at that myself. But plus 168 for Fulham to get 1.5 goals, and then plus 560 for 2 goals. If you think this game can fly straight over with the 2 teams, everyone says Leeds can score. They can score. They haven't quite shown it. I don't trust it. I trust Fulham more than Leeds. If you want to get over 3.5 combined goals, it's only plus 182. To get all the way to 5 is plus 460. Man, I can't count on Leeds to pull their end of the weight until I see it. So it's going to be Fulham or nothing for me on this. And if Leeds does play that good attack defense and they do get to Fulham, then their chances will be limited. I could actually see this being a low-scoring game between Leeds and Fulham. So we'll go ahead and leave this one off. You might like it yourself, by all means. Go for it. But I would lean anything at Fulham. And even a plus 260 for Fulham for a straight-up win, to win 1-0 even. I think that's just a straight money line. Probably is the best bet on the board at this time that way. But Leeds, that could be a draw as well. Plus 250 on the draw. So we'll just leave that alone. We can't play everything. Arsenal is at Southampton. We always like to play Arsenal. They are a juggernaut. Southampton should not provide much resistance for goals for Arsenal. If we look at the table here, that Arsenal is at the top. They have scored 24 goals, which is only second to Man City. Southampton, they only have 10 goals, and they have allowed 18. So they've allowed, they're one of the top 5-ish teams anyway, as far as goals allowed. Southampton did win their last time out and a draw before that, but they've lost 3 in a row before that. I don't think Southampton can hang with Arsenal. That's just the bottom line there. If I'm going to look at away team goals for Arsenal, because Southampton could actually never get the ball. Over 3.5 away team goals is plus 560 for Arsenal. So we'll take a chance on that, actually. 2-1 odds at over 2.5 goals. So if we're going to do our 1.5 little goal parlay with those teams we just mentioned, we might want to look at over 2.5 for Arsenal to get 2-1 odds. The first half for Arsenal to get first half, Arsenal over 1.5 is plus 330. I think that's a fair play as well. And actually, they might get up and start to rest their players just because of the fatigue that they've had from the playing in the Europa League. So I think that's a good angle, actually, to see Arsenal come out strong, put the hammer down on Southampton, and get over 1.5 goals in the first half. So I'll take plus 330 on that. If you want to go over 2.5 goals in the first half for Arsenal, be my guest, because you will get 14-1 odds on that. And that is something I would never shy away from, 14-1 odds. In fact, I might have to plug that number in here just for the fun of it. Let me just, we're going to say Arsenal's going to get 3 goals, and this is going to be your lesson of crazy soccer payouts, people, here in a second. I'll tell you that. So we'll look at that for Arsenal. 3 more games real quick. We got Wolves and Leicester. I think this is going to be Wolves have shown it. I think they can break out. I think they can get goals. Leicester can get goals too. James Madison should be back. He missed the last game. Leicester seems to always score. Both teams usually score in the Leicester. I think it's 28 out of the last 31 games. Both teams have scored in the Leicester game. The Wolves are at home, and I think Adama Traore, the big bruising, fast paced forward for the Wolves, is a little bit of a difference maker for them if he can get the ball cleanly. He does have a goal recently, so he's in better form. I think that makes Daniel Pedence better as well. He's a scrappy, fast little sharpshooter player. Both of those players, let's see, if they get Neto back with Traore, I think that gives them a great advantage. Let's see Neto's status. I don't see Pedro Neto on my list of players to score, so he will be out. I need to follow up on his injury. He seems to always be injured, Pedro Neto. But I'm going to trust the Wolves to score, and I'm going to trust Leicester to score. I think this is going to be a shootout, fun shootout. We're just going to take a chance on this. I could be completely all wrong. I was kind of shocking just to see over 3.5 goals is plus 270, considering the Wolves don't score a lot anyway. So I kind of smell a rat here. I just think that maybe this is the game we see 3-2 or 3-3, but we'll take 7-1 odds at over 4.5 goals in the Wolves and the Leicester game. Let's see. Let me get back to my studio. So Leeds Fulham. Yeah, I'm missing all these. So Leicester Wolves, Sunday, 9 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time is the game there. And let's see. That is the slate for Sunday. We have the 4 9 o'clock games on 11:30, which will be our next game. Newcastle and Tottenham. That should be a fun game, actually, to watch. Tottenham is at home. They are plus 110, 250 on Newcastle if you like them. There's no reason not to like either one of them. I think this game has goals, honestly, written all over it as well. So we are going to look at this, and let's just say 5 goals flat, because this can be 3-2 all day, or it could be 2-1, just because of their defense. But plus 590 if you want over 4.5 goals. Again, let's make sure it doesn't rain. See, this is scary because I got one where everything's been under. I have now, let's see, 3 games getting 5 goals at least, 1 game getting 6 goals, 1 team getting 2 goals in the first half, and another team getting 2 goals. All right, so we're going to eliminate maybe the least favorite of the bunch here. We're only going to go for 5. But, hey, man, if it goes all super over, then that's what we're going to do there. So plus 590 on the Tottenham Newcastle over 4.5 goals. If you really want to get crazy, plus 1420 to get the 6 goals for them. Spread-wise, I don't think I would look at Tottenham to lay any kind of goals over Newcastle. Newcastle has been too good. But -1 is plus 310 for Tottenham. Shoot, if you think they can win 3-1 and rebound off their last loss, then that's actually a pretty decent payout. Tottenham -2 goals is plus 800. So we're just going to look for combined goals there and hope that's the case. Let's see here. That is the 11:30 game on Sunday. So many Saturday, Sunday games. I don't like that they do this, actually. I'd rather have them all on Saturday. And then our one Monday game is going to be nothing I'm too excited about. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Another team who's been like an Aston Villa. They've been like a complete bore fest, to be honest. That is West Ham. They will host Bournemouth. You just keep thinking West Ham's due to have a great game. This must be the one. And although they played Liverpool decently their last time out, West Ham has been nothing nothing short of terrible, to be honest, as far as their standards go. West Ham, in fact, all the way down at 13th place in the table, they have only scored 9 goals on the season. They've only given up 12. Bournemouth, who is supposed to be relegated, is all the way up in 12th place. They've scored 10 goals only, but they've allowed 23. So you think if this is a game where West Ham can be on the do list and finally get everything right, then you want to go ahead and lay the wood with West Ham in this one. I'm going to be reluctant to do so. Let's go over a couple of numbers for you, just so you can get. I mean, they are due, and Bournemouth is a bottom feeder, or supposed to be. So if this table is going to flip per the preseason expectations, then this is a game where West Ham should roll. Only plus 165 if you like West Ham -1. And then if you like West Ham -2, I don't think you're going to get that great of a payout either. Yeah, only plus 450. And then home team over 3.5 goals. West Ham gets you at 8-1. I can't count on them to get to 4 goals. Can I count on them to get to 3? Maybe, but that's only paying plus 255. I don't think I'm going to be happy with anything like that on the board. Bournemouth, since they have been playing decent, over 1.5 goals for Bournemouth may interest me at plus 390. Actually, but man, can they have possession? They're higher up. Just to get 2 goals at plus 390, you might be able to talk me into that. Okay, so I got 6 teams on my round robin right now. We're gonna have to eliminate one of them. Chelsea, Man U over 4.5 goals. I'll keep that one. Just because of the low payout with Crystal Palace and Everton at plus 200, I'll get rid of that. I got Man City and Brighton over 5.5. I got Arsenal over 2.5. For the first half at 14-1. So we'll go ahead and keep that. Wolves and Leicester over 4.5 is plus 700. Let's just say for the fun of it, you know what? We'll keep them in. We'll do a 5-team round robin. We'll keep in Tottenham and Newcastle. We're just asking a lot. We're asking for 5 goals in 3 games, literally, and 6 goals in another, and 3 goals in another for a first half team. Stuff that completely has not happened. Eventually it will. But just for an example of your payouts, just for this exercise alone, all the 3-game parlays in this round robin, if you hit 3 out of the 5 on the average, you're going to win $6,182. If you sweep the board on the round robin, all this stuff could actually happen. Just the 3-game parlays alone will pay you $60,000. Let's make our 4-game parlays down to $5 bets. So that's $25 in 4-game parlays, $126,000. So if you get 4 out of the 5 of these, then you're looking at $25,000 on the average for that kind of winning bet. And then one big 5-game parlay for $10, and that's just worth it alone. $404,964 if you think all these crazy overs can happen. So that's interesting. I'm just trying to teach you guys. I'm not saying that's what we should do, but for our exercise alone, those are some pretty nifty payouts. So ideally, let's see. Overall investing in this amount is $175. Okay, so you're putting $175 on the line, and you are looking to win a total of $610,000 for 5 soccer games to have a few extra goals. Interesting, huh? All right, we'll take a break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk some championship real quick, and then we'll go ahead and get out of here. All right, this is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. I'm Stephen Murray. This is the Deep End Broadcasting Network. Solutions can provide all voice-over services for your advanced audio production needs. Think of us as an inexpensive option, no matter what the size of the project is. From one-word cameos to full-script productions, contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517. Do you want to advertise with Deep End Broadcasting? Send us an email at deepend757@yahoo.com. That's deepend757@yahoo.com. It is estimated that 23% of car accidents each year involve a cell phone. That's 1.3 million accidents a year. Reaching for your phone, you are 4 times more likely to crash. Dialing on your phone, 2.8 times more likely to crash. And texting on your phone, you are 23 times more likely to crash. Attentive drivers are safe drivers.
Know your gambling limits. Don't ever bet what you can't cover. Wagering on sports is only fun when you do it the right way. Not every bet will win. When you get on a bad run, know it and avoid trouble. Know your gambling limits.
Tired of your swimming pool's diatomaceous earth pool filter? The constant cleaning, green pool, cloudy water? I thought this was supposed to be clean. Trust your swimming pool's water quality with a custom sand filter install. A clean, easy solution for your swimming pool operations. Contact Dependable Solutions at 757-354-5517. All right, let's look at the English Championship League. Real quick, we'll go through the table. QPR, they are your top team. They're in really good form. We talked about them last week being one of the better teams. They have found their way into first place since we've talked about that. They won 4 out of their last 5. Blackburn, they're in really good form too. They've won 3 out of their last 5. Burnley has not lost in their last 5. They are in third place with 26 points. Man, this is just cluster. All the way down, let's see, from first to 17th place, separated by 8 points. So really in 3 games, everything could be topsy-turvy here. Luton, they haven't lost in their last 5 either. Swansea, they won 4 out of their last 5. Millwall, they are really hot. They've won 4 out of their last 5. And after that, it turns into a reign of inconsistency all the way down the board. The worst teams right now, Huddersfield, who was in the playoffs last year, they are in dead last place. They only have 11 points on the season. In fact, to climb out of the relegation zone, they are 5 points below Blackpool and Middlesbrough. And both of those teams seem to be somewhat improving. They have a couple wins or draws here in their last 5 each. West Brom and Coventry, they are also in the bottom as well. Although Coventry, they are starting to get their act together. They have won 3 out of their last 5, and one of those other games being a draw. Coventry at the beginning of the year had the pitch that was unplayable. So they only have 12 games played as well, where Huddersfield below them has 14 games played, and all the other teams above them have 3 or 4 games for the most part played. So Coventry with a lot of catch up to do. And really, if they can string together, let's say they string together 7 to 9 points, then that kind of puts them right now right there around mid to top of the table. So we can't really count on Coventry really being a bottom feeder, as they have plenty of opportunity to catch up. Okay, so let's look at the games real quick, and we're just going to look at the games that we like, and we'll give a quick opinion on everything else as we are getting past our time here. We're about 1 hour exactly, as we started a little bit late. About an hour, 5 minutes in. But if we can hold this an hour and 10 minutes, then that's what we want to do. Blackpool and Preston North End is the 7:30 kickoff. Preston, they have been the under darlings. They went on that super under run to start the year. They since they had a couple games go over, but now they're back to their underways. Blackpool can't really, they're down at the bottom of the table as well. This is a game that we're just going to stay away from. Millwall, who is hot. We're going to take a look at them. They play West Brom. This is about an even matchup. They're both plus 170 on the three-way and plus 210 for the draw. If I take Millwall home team goals, which is what I'm going to do here, they got 3 goals their last time at home, and they played hard. I actually watched that game. So if they can actually match that effort against a West Brom team that's been less than spectacular, then over 2 goals for Millwall at home is plus 600. I think that's worth a shot. Plus 168 if you like them for just to score 2 goals at home. And that's regardless if they win, lose, or draw. So just home team total goals. And at plus 600, you can see me taking a shot at Millwall to get 3 goals. Also down the list here, QPR, they play Wigan. QPR, the top team, we talked about them. The Wolves tried to hire the QPR manager, and he turned down the EPL job to stay with QPR. So that's going to win their team over. That's going to win that fan base over. This is a home game. I could expect a complete smoke job in this one, to be honest. Although Wigan's been a nice story. This is a game where they could definitely be in trouble. QPR -1 at plus 270 is an attractive number. Alternate spread -2 for QPR is plus 750. That's a real nice number. If I'm going to look at the home team goals for QPR, then home team over 2.5, same play as Millwall. I'm getting plus 370 for QPR just to get 3 goals at home. So regardless of what they gave up to Wigan, as long as QPR can get the 3, I get plus 370. And I think that's a good angle I'm going to take at with QPR. Stoke and Coventry. We talk about Coventry being better, and Stoke's been a little bit better. I did like Stoke for home team goals in this, but I'm not ready to fade Coventry like that either. I'm going to look at more of an over scenario at over 3.5 to get plus 245. That is a little bit lower than I would want, but that's right at the threshold of what I would take. I think I'll definitely throw that into something. But if I'm going to be a little risky on one of my round robins and go for over 4.5 goals at plus 620 for Stoke and Coventry, and I think that's why we do the show, people, is I just learned too, Coventry still has all those games in hand. They've been playing better lately. Stoke is at home. They've been playing a little bit better lately. So this game, I think, is conducive to goals. So we'll take a shot at plus 670 at over 4.5. Why not? We got to find something. Might as well use that one. Sheffield and Norwich, a battle of 2 EPL devotees here in the last couple of seasons each. Plus 130 for Sheffield, plus 210 for Norwich. I can't say I faded Norwich last game with Bristol, and that seemed to work out for me. That was actually my one winner midweek. It was going against Norwich. I had Bristol on the outright win. They won 2-0. I think this is a game I stay away from generally overall. I could see it being high scoring, but I could also see it being low scoring. Reading and Bristol, although Reading is still close to the top of the table, they're starting to fall. They were in the top 3 or 4. They're now down to 10th. They now have 3 losses in a row, actually. And Bristol's form is win, loss, draw. So they're about as even Steven as it can be. But Bristol still playing better than Reading is as of late. And the Reading games I've watched, although they were to the top of the table, I just haven't seen any kind of sustained offense. It'd be Bristol City or nothing in this game for me. If I look at the away goals for this real quick, for Bristol City, I'll count on them to have 2 goals. I can't count on them to have more, although they did win that bet for me. Just plus 162 for 2 goals and plus 560 for 3. So that would be your stretch play, Bristol City over 2.5 goals. We'll find better ones on the board. We like Blackburn. They're at home against Birmingham, plus 105 is the line there. We're going to take Blackburn home team goals. We're going to hope for 2.5. And if you like the Blackburn over Birmingham goals, then we're going to home team over 2.5 for Blackburn is at plus 430. That's a juicy number just to score 3 times at home. Let's see what Birmingham has given up here. Their last few games out. Birmingham is mid-table. They've scored 15, allowed 13, but their last few games out, they held Burnley to 1. They held Hull to 0. They held Bristol to 0. They held Middlesbrough to 1. They've held Sheffield to 1. So they have not given up the goals. But Blackburn, if we look at them real quick, if I can back on out of here. And Birmingham, they have won 2 out of their last 3, and they have 2 draws as well in their last 5 with only 1 loss. So they are playing better. Well defensively. Let's see, the Blackburn Rovers, their last few times out, they've scored twice. They've scored twice. No score. Scored 3 times. No score. Scored twice. No score. So they got 3 goals here, at least once, and 2 goals here at least twice in their last 4 games. So their scoring is up. We'll take a chance on over 2.5 goals at home against Birmingham. And maybe the way to play that is actually Blackburn -1 on the spread. Maybe they win 1-0. At plus 310, Blackburn -1. That actually might be the better route. So maybe they get 2 goals at home and they can hold Birmingham scoreless, get a 2-0 exact score win. Let's see. We're almost done here. Let's see. Blackburn back on now to here. Rotherham and Hull is a game I'm not going to get involved with. Middlesbrough and Huddersfield. Middlesbrough, although they are towards the bottom, I feel like they're turning the page a little bit, at least playing more competitively. Huddersfield has been a disaster all year. Middlesbrough at -150 at home. If you think they're due for a good home win against the last place, Huddersfield, man, this is almost a must win for Huddersfield, literally. But they can't sustain any kind of offense. Middlesbrough home goals. If you think you want to take a chance on them at over 2.5 home goals, there's only plus 285. That's shocking. It's kind of that low. So that tells you that maybe it probably actually gets there. Only -122 for Middlesbrough over 1.5 goals. If you're looking at an alt spread too, this is going to be low, I bet. And not so bad. Plus 500 for Middlesbrough, -2. That may be the way to go. I don't see how Huddersfield scores. If they do score, they just score the 1, I guess. But I could see Middlesbrough getting 3 to 4 goals. Middlesbrough -1 at plus 200, probably the safe play with that. So Middlesbrough or nothing with me. Luton Town, they've been playing well. They are at Watford. They've not lost in their last 5. Luton is at plus 240 just to win the game outright. I think that's the best play probably. But if we look at Luton Town away goals real quick, away team Luton Town 1.5 is at plus 230. You know what? I think that's fair. I think you go ahead and probably just do that. Take Luton away over 1.5. If you think they can get to 3 goals, they will pay 8-1, and they've been in really good form. So who's to say that they can't? So Luton away goals over 2.5. If you want to take a chance at plus 800 I would back that. And these are all 10 o'clock games, by the way. Actually, that's a Sunday 7 a.m. game. And then we have one more game for Sunday at 7 a.m. We have Swansea and Cardiff. Swansea has won 4 out of their last 5. Cardiff had a red card their last time out, so they lose to QPR 3-0. If you think the Swans can get the win at home and put up over 2.5 home goals, well, they wouldn't have to get the win. They can draw that 3-3, but I don't think Cardiff is going to get to 3 goals themselves. But plus 430 for Swansea at over 2.5 goals. 1.5 goals at home is plus 126. If I'm going to look at a spread line, Swansea to win 4-1, 3-0. Minus 2 goals is at a nice juicy plus 900. That might be worth a shot, actually. Early morning on a Sunday morning 3-0. But even this at minus 330, Swansea minus 1 goal over Cardiff. I think I actually like that play the best. I think that's a safe play. You could throw that into a round robin. Swansea. The Swans minus 1 goal, the Welsh side at home against Cardiff. All right, so that's your championship breakdown. Real quick on a quick recap for the championship. We gave you our EPL plays. We'll go over all the plays real quick. Over 4.5, maybe take a chance there with Chelsea, Man U. If you're more comfortable with 3.5, you want to knock a goal off my optimism, go for it. Over 5.5, Man City, Brighton. Arsenal over 2.5 in the first half. We're just looking for them to go crazy, people. So we're moving the lines like crazy, people. Arsenal over 2.5 goals is plus 1,400. Wolves, Leicester over 4.5, a game that should never go over by the Wolves standards. We're going to say goes over at plus 700. Over 4.5 goals for Tottenham, Newcastle is at plus 590. We are due for the super blowout over weekend, so this could be it. And then if we look at our other plays, we're going to look at Stoke Coventry over. We're going to look at QPR home team goals, Millwall home team goals, 2.5. 2.5 also for QPR. We'll go ahead and take Blackburn at a minus 1, I think was the play there on the spread. And we'll take a chance with Middlesbrough getting over 2.5 goals, and maybe even Luton Town to win straight up at plus 240. I think I like that the best. And you know what? Well, Sunday morning action, we're going to go ahead and lay it with Swansea. Minus 1 goal there at plus 330. Real quick, if we have any 2-goal scorers, we're going to look forward to tomorrow before we get off the air. We talked about 2-goal scorers in the Chelsea game. We're going to take Raheem Sterling. We're going to take a shot in this Wolves game on a Wolves player with 2 goals. Sounds crazy, but sooner or later, one of their players will get 2 goals. Jamie Vardy is due for goals, man. He's at plus 800. Maybe it's his time to shine. But we talked about Daniel Pedence at 24-1. Maybe take a shot with him. And Adama Traore at 36-1 odds for 2 goals. Man, if he gets on the break twice and can get it in, 36-1 odds for Traore is really, really nice. So I think we're going to throw him into some kind of round robin with Sterling. And then we'll take a look at maybe 1 or 2 other 2-goal scorers. Man City and Brighton. Let's see where our boy Kevin De Bruyne is. He has yet to shine. He's been given all the assists out in the world. So maybe this is his goal game. He's going to have a goal game. It's coming sooner or later. Kevin De Bruyne for 2 goals is 9-1. We'll go ahead and throw that in there. If we want to take a shot with it, Joao Cancelo scored the last time out, and he's almost had 2 goals for me before. But 65-1 odds. Man, at some point he's going to get 2 goals. Holland for 2 goals at plus 195 maybe to play as well. Any more 2-goal scorers? Aston Villa, Brentford, no. Maybe Tony gets you 2 scores for Brentford. We're not going to rely on that. Mitrovic, he's not going to pay a lot for his 2 goals, so we'll lay off of that. We'll go ahead and look at Martinelli for Arsenal. Martinelli is a 2-goal scorer by nature. He's been very close a lot of times, and he's having a heck of a season. Gabriel Martinelli, 10-1 odds for Arsenal to get 2 goals. And if you think the onslaught can happen at Southampton, might as well go ahead and throw Martinelli in there. Tottenham and Newcastle, we're not going to get any big payoffs for 2-goal scorers there. West Ham and Bournemouth. Maybe Miguel Antonio. Let's see. What are his chances for 2 goals? I just don't think it's going to be a lot. Not by the West Ham scoring standards and the fact that they haven't scored. Yeah, Mikel Antonio plus 750. I think we can do a pass on that. All right, so that's your EPL. That's your championship breakdown. This is the Friday Soccer Paycheck. I am Stephen Murray. Good luck on your games. We'll be back Sunday morning. Me and Nephew Dave will be on the Round Robin live, 6 a.m. Eastern Time on Sunday. Replay to follow. Monday night, we have What the Puck is Going On. 6 o'clock coming up. 6 p.m. Monday coming up. What the Puck is Going On. We'll get the latest futures and see the slate on the board for the Monday and the Tuesday. Take a look at that in depth. Alien show to be announced. That's going to be more of a seasonal series. We're hoping to have an episode on by now. We want a really good guest, and these guys take a little bit of time to commit. They're busy digging up alien artifacts in the middle of the desert right now, so they don't want to come on the air. But that's fine. We'll figure that out down the road. Basketball show, the Pickpocket. Looking to get that going too. I want to get a good feel on basketball. Actually, one week opening night. This is only the second night of full slate of NBA. I want to pay attention a little bit more, just get a little bit better feel on the teams and what we have going on. I think I got a decent feel already, but let me just watch a little bit and see how it goes. And the opportunity, again, where we won a little bit in soccer this week, we were able to win an NBA just by live betting. So nothing pre-flop. Everything happened mid-game. Pretty much took the teams I liked, maybe got talked out of by some experts, and then my teams happened to win anyway. So don't listen to the experts. Maybe I am the expert is my lesson of that one. But my teams all got home when I went ahead and let it rip. So happy with that. We'll play with some more NBA. I think there's going to be some opportunity through a busy football weekend. Some of these NBA games will go a little unnoticed. And, we'll look for our goals in our soccer games. We're not taking any sides. We're taking overs, and we're taking home or away team goals. So replay if you need the picks. Go ahead and play it back. All right. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you guys next Friday on the Friday Soccer Paycheck. Let's go play some outro music. Where's my outro music? All right, no outro music. So we'll go ahead and get out of here. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in.